Hey, what's going on, everybody? Jumping on here. I'm in sunny Florida right now. Say hello. Give me a quick thumbs up if you guys can hear me. I know there's a little bit of delay in the stream here, but just saying, what is going on, my beautiful friends? Nice to see everybody here. Let me see some thumbs up if you guys can hear me, if I got some audio, and I'm going to jump into this here. Really talking about today. So I'm in sunny Florida. I'm doing deals back home in Canada, and I wanted to come share with you. Thanks, Art. Appreciate you guys. I wanted to come share with you guys. By the way, drop some comments if you have any. I'm going to be glad to share some stuff with you guys. And if you're brand new to the world, for a number of years, I was in Canada, Southwestern Ontario, grinding away at deals. So I started at 21 years old. I started actually doing a cleaning service. So I started cleaning carpets, cleaning floors. And through that cleaning, it allowed me some of the flexibility to spend my days learning more and more about real estate. So I bought the Rich Dad course like a lot of people here. I used to go to the conferences, the 3-day weekends, all of those like companies that would come through town and put on a free seminar. I'd go to all that stuff. So I was young, 21, 22 years old, and I'm doing as much real estate as I can get my hands on, right? And this is before the 2008 recession, market crash, and all that stuff. So back then, there was nothing cheaper on the MLS than about 100,000 in my city of Windsor. And if you guys know Windsor today, you might think, well, that's still pretty cheap. But the market, what happened was actually took a massive nosedive in 2009 because we're an auto city and because of so many other factors. Detroit's right across the border. So I got kind of excited at a young age. You know, at 2009, I would have been 25 years old. And I'm starting to look at the market and I'm going, wow, these houses are going from $100,000 and they started selling for like 80, 70, 60. Some of the D areas or the C minus areas, the houses on the MLS were going for even 30,000 bucks, 40,000. In fact, the cheapest house I bought in a single family detached home in Windsor was $15,500. Give me a quick thumbs up, guys, if you can hear me okay, if the video is okay. I don't know how the stream is, the lag. Is the stream crappy? If it is, let me know. I'll try to adjust some stuff. So in doing that, I got into the grind mode. So in 2010, I basically bought 10 houses, one after the other, and I performed a BRRRR strategy. So I was buying the house. I would go and fix it basically by myself or with whatever help I could find at the time. I was doing my cleaning business at nighttime so that I can basically work during the days on the rehab stuff. And as I would get a property renovated, and I wouldn't do anything major, guys, it was more like paint, flooring, cleaning, that kind of stuff. Okay? Okay, Art, I see you, man. Audio is good. The video is not good. Sorry about that. Well, I'll just pay attention to the audio. But yeah, man, that sucks. Sorry to hear that. So I would go and fix these houses at nighttime. I finished one. So I bought the very first one in about September, October of 2009. This was the fourth property I'd purchased, but it was the fourth and the cheapest house by far. I bought this house for $25,000. Now you're going to say to me, man, how did you get this thing for 25 grand? Well, like I said, the market was depreciating, right? Like all these cheap properties were becoming less and less expensive because people were frankly afraid to buy. They were just terrified of getting in the market because it seemed like the world was going down the toilet. So I'm looking at these properties. I started going to my agent's office, my realtor's office every day for at least half an hour to an hour to start making offers on these properties, starting to look for deals, evaluating all that stuff. So I evaluated hundreds and hundreds of deals. I used to keep a spreadsheet with every offer that I made. And every one of those offers I would keep tabs on. So like if it didn't sell, I would come back to it 30 days later or 3 weeks later. And I would aggressively try to go get it again. I developed this Art saying, I'm glad I can't see you because it's too Florida down here. Sorry, guys. You're killing me, Art. It is sunny Florida. I'm here at the summer house. Just loving it right now. But okay, let me get back to the story. So I was making these offers every day, at least half an hour to 1 hour a day. I started being very, very transactional about the offer making process because I couldn't afford to get attached emotionally to it. There was nothing to get attached to. It was a price, it was an address, and it was my paperwork. That's it. Boom, 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 boom. So after doing this for a period of time, I had bought about 70, 75 houses in this same manner. 75 houses. That's a lot of houses for a kid who's 25, 26 years old. And you would say, well, how did you get it all financed and all this stuff? Well, I basically did one at a time. So I'd buy a house. I'd start to work on it. I would use 100% private money. And I'll get into that in a second. 100% private money to buy this property. Once I bought the property and did the work, again, using credit cards to fix up the house, etc., then I could go back to the bank and say, I own this property. I don't have a mortgage because, again, I bought it with private funds. And I want to go ahead and put a line of credit on it. And the bank would give me 65% loan to value of the appraisal in a line of credit. So an example would be I bought the house for 25 grand. I invested another 25 in the rehab. I had $50,000 into this property by this point. The bank came back and appraised it for 62.5 and gave me 65% loan to value of that price. So about $40,000 in change, which meant that I had about 8 grand left out of pocket in this property. But now I had the property and I had financing at 3% or whatever it was back then. Well, this is the traditional way that people buy houses, right? They buy 1, they buy 2, they buy 3, they buy 4, and so forth. Most people never buy more than a few houses because this process seems like it takes forever. Now I was able to catch some momentum. I was able to really get into the flow of things. I spent a couple years doing this. But in doing that, I had some really big realizations about this entire industry of real estate investing. The whole industry. And maybe you can't get those realizations until you buy dozens of houses. But for me, I started buying, and it was dozens, right? So now it's been hundreds of deals that we've closed on and sold, etc. But I've had some realizations along that time. And this is what I wanted to share with you folks today. So the first realization that I had, the really big one for me, was everybody's expecting the bank to support you in your real estate endeavors. As if the bank is going to go, congratulations, we're going to fund your purchases, we're going to fund your investments, we're going to fund your deals. But after going to the bank about 3-4 times and getting rejected, I came to the stark conclusion that the bank was not on my side. And I realized why. The bank is not there to help you become wealthy. It's not the bank's job or their focus to help you create wealth. The bank's job is to loan money to retail borrowers, meaning this. They want to give mom and dad a mortgage so that they can buy a house, so that they can get into debt, so they can make those payments, and the bank can collect the interest, the fees, etc. And mom and dad, as long as they don't like get too intelligent about this process or about this reality, they'll just keep paying into this thing for life. So if we're going to the bank as potential investors, new investors, expecting them to go, sure, we'll help you buy 5, 10 properties, 20 properties, no problem. The bank is not in that business. The bank's in the business of taking a dollar, loaning it out to consumers. They do a fractional reserve banking, which basically means for every dollar they have, they loan out 10. So let's say they borrow a dollar from the government, right? They borrow it at next to nothing percent, 1-2%. They loan it back to you. So for every dollar they borrow, they can loan out 10. Approximately, they loan $10 out, and now they're charging you 5% on a line of credit. They're charging you 18% on a credit card, charging you 22%, on different credit products that they have, auto loans, etc. So think about this now. They're in the business of taking a dollar and lending it and trying to chop up that dollar as much as possible, making $10 out of one, and then paying 1% on the $1, and then collecting 20%, 10%, 5% on $10. None of that has to do with you making money. So one of the first big advantages, guys, that I got early on in 2009 and 10 was realizing I had to stop going to the banks. Because every time the bank told me no, they told other people no too. So I'm not the only guy that was looking at houses for $30,000 and $40,000 back then, but I'm one of the few guys that actually bought 75, 80 houses. Because I literally stopped going to the bank. It wasn't a winning scenario for me. It was more difficult to try to get bank financing than just get private funds. Now, the big issue that I had, because I'm a guy who was saving money, lived pretty frugally. Well, the big issue I had was like, how do I pay a private investor 9%, 10% interest when the bank is at 4? So this is a hard reality. I think that that people they're so focused on getting that 4% money, that 5% money, that they can't imagine a world of business where you can make money at borrowing at 10%. But the 10% money, the investor money, is not as picky. The 10% money wants to make money. See, the other investors who want to invest with you at 9, 10, 11%, their focus is that you do make money and keep their money vested. They're not a bank. So I realized for me that if I was able to find properties that I could either flip, rent, or whatever, and make more than 10% return on that money, so more than a 10% return on capital, then I could borrow money at 10%. And this is how I developed or understood the power of the spread. The spread is this: you borrow money at 10%, you invest it at 15%. The difference between your borrow and your lend, or your borrow and your invest, is called the spread. In this case, 5%. So 5% may not seem like a lot of money, but if you have a lot of money in circulation, so if you're deploying, like we're deploying millions of dollars, making a 5, 10, 15% spread on that money, it generates a lot of profit. But I think the biggest difference I've recognized about this investment industry, there's people who call themselves investors, and there's people who are business owners in the space of real estate investing. That is a huge, huge distinction. And the reason why I'm sitting in Florida and able to do deals is because I've decided years ago to become a business owner in the field or in the industry of real estate investing. I'm not a real estate investor. Those to me are different things. Different from a lot of reasons, but the biggest reason for me is the mindset around the development, the growth, and the management. A real estate investor is a person who uses his talents and resources and skills to go and deal make and to go and raise money and do all this stuff. And he is the center of the attention. He's the center of the deal, the center of everything. He is the business. And for a lot of people, that's attractive. And for me, for a couple of years, it was attractive. Being the center of everything was attractive. The challenge, though, is that once you become the center of something, you'll never be able to grow it without you. Meaning that most of my business was only working when I was working. We were only getting deals done when I was working. I had to be the one looking at the properties. I had to be the one fixing the properties. I had to be the one dialed in into the daily operations every day because I was the business. I was an investor. I was the entire thing. And while that may be better than working a 9-to-5 job for somebody else, because you can argue, well, you've got more time freedom. It's your business. You own it. If you can work 40 hours a week for somebody else, or you become a slave to your own business for 80 hours a week, but you own it, that'll get boring quick. I'm telling you, a lot of people glorify the idea of like, I own my own business. Well, if you're the only person in the business and you're the one running around all day trying to do deals, you don't own a business, it owns you. You basically are the only employee of your company. You are the entire business. You break your leg tomorrow and your business doesn't work. So the reality is I had different mentors along the way. Some mentors were workhorses and they bust their hump every day and they were the business and they liked it. I had other mentors who were living in Florida while their business was happening in, Michigan, Ohio, wherever. And those mentors, they seemed to be able to stay back and their business was growing. So that's the big distinction, folks, is that if you want to develop this long-term, the real estate investing, you have to make a distinction. Are you going to be an investor or a business owner? See, if you go back to Robert Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, there's the 4 quadrants. One is employee, which then leads to self-employed, which then should lead to business owner, and then to an investor. The only kind of investor I truly want to be is one that is extremely passive. So I put my money into something. There's already a machine that moves the money around, whether it's real estate, whether it's other businesses, the stock market, whatever else. But I'm completely passive. I'm not a decision maker in the daily operations of that thing. I think the moment we are, we have to understand that it's not an investment, it is a business. If we start a business but treat it like an investment, folks, this is where I see most people go wrong. The reason why I started getting some traction, I mean, I work like a dog. 2010, I barely saw my wife. In fact, I'd work 6 days a week, hardcore, and then we took Sundays off to just have lunch together and whatever. But guys, I work like a dog. And although like a lot of people will tell you like in your 20s and 30s, it's a badge of honor to work 14 hours a day, 16 hours a day. The truth is there's no badge of honor. There's no nobility in the struggle. If you have to struggle and you accept it and that's what's good for you, fine, go for it. If you choose to struggle and you choose to fire things off, that's cool. I believe there's a season of your growth where you're going to have to grind it out. But the idea that the grind is noble, or the idea somehow that like the sacrifice is worthwhile, like you have to ask yourself, what are you really trading? Because I grinded for 7 years, right? 8 years, traded my health, which was my own fault, now nobody else's. But I ate like crap every day because I was tired, stressed, whatever. I would binge eat. I put on 40 pounds. The reason I'm doing this thing shirtless, by the way, is because I'm finally confident enough to do it. All right? That's the truth. If you're looking at me like, oh, this freaking guy, it's because I'm finally confident enough to do it because I got my health back in track. Because for a long time, my health was completely out of whack. And it took me going back to my homeland where people looked at me and said, why are you so fat? And I said, I don't know. And that's what the realization was, is that it was a choice. So the cost on your marriage, if you're a young married couple and you're trading all your free time for work, you're working for the sake of working. The question I got to throw back at you is why? There's nothing wrong with the work. There's nothing wrong with real estate investors. It's not about should you do it. My biggest understanding now is about how we do things. How do you build a real estate company? How do you spend your time? How do you prioritize the things that you need to accomplish in your life? Now, I'm giving you things I've learned over a decade, and you can choose to hear them or not. You can choose to use them or not. But the reality is they don't change. And I beat my head against the wall for many years because I refused to accept the realities. I refused to accept the basic financial and the basic roadblocks to building a real business. So to build a real business, guys, if you have a product, meaning real estate, and you're good at buying and selling, you've got to try to turn that product or that service into a process as fast as possible. If you can buy one house and you can make $10,000 flipping houses, some of you guys flip houses, well, then you have an obligation to your business to turn that into a process and scale that up. Because if you can buy one, why not invest more money? Why not increase your advertising, your marketing, your operational costs so that you can go ahead and increase the efficiencies so you can go ahead and increase the revenue? See, I learned this stuff over 12 years, and this is why I'm here. Yesterday, our team back home closed on a deal in a market where the average home price is $430,000. We bought a house for 58 grand. Not every house is 400 grand, but that's the average selling price. But there's houses in our neighborhood for, like in our city, 150, 200. We bought a house for under $60,000. And that's because there's a process. That's because we deliver marketing. That's because we have salespeople that go out and talk with the, let's say, prospective sellers in this case. That's because we've got paperwork. That's because there's a legal process that we follow. That's because we've got accountability with our lawyer, with our salespeople, with the finance side. And as a result, I'm sitting in sunny Florida. I get an email that says, congratulations, your keys are ready for pickup. You guys closed the deal. Now, we jumping on a call with our realtor yesterday. This thing's worth at least 120, 150 grand, even in the rough shape that it's in. So what is that worth? What is the value of that process truly worth? If you buy it for 60, it's worth 140. That's an $80,000 spread. Now, you might say, well, Ben, I could run around and find those deals too. And I'm sure you can. But it's about how. I don't need to make more money these days, guys. Like, money means more to people who don't have it than people who do. That's the truth, guys. Some people say you need all the money in the world. I don't think so. I think you need enough money where you create an amazing life for yourself. And then it's all about passion and impact beyond that. If you're making money for the sake of making money, I don't know. Part of me wants to tell you to grow up. What about other things? What about your passions? What about the stuff you wanted to be when you were 4 years old? What about the people in your neighborhood? What about impacting? What about creating cool businesses because you're able to build communities and serve people and make money, not just for the sake of making money? So I don't have this idealistic view that more money is better, but I do understand that there's a certain amount of money you need to have so that you can stop thinking about the daily expenses. You can't go out and impact people at a huge level if you're worried about paying the hydro bill. So I think there's a season to get your business off the ground. But if you treat it like a business day one, I'm telling you, it becomes so much more powerful. It's amazing what can happen. So what I would recommend, guys, as you're kind of thinking through this, right? What stage of the game do I hire? Here's what I've learned. As soon as you can, add the procedure in place. If you're good at buying houses and you got that process down, teach somebody else. So the answer is as soon as you have it down. If you're good at the operational side of your business, as soon as you have that down, hire somebody. You got to figure out if you're going to be the business employee, what is your time worth? I would say most of you guys, $20 an hour, $30 an hour is an easy number to say my time is worth at least 30. If your time is worth at least 30, the answer is hire out every task that's worth less than $30 an hour. If you can do that, meaning if you're willing to do that, because that's the hard part, if you're willing to go and hire people to take over those processes, it'll force you to focus on more expensive activities. So sales and marketing, these are the two major drivers in every business. The biggest thing that I probably should have done 10 years ago was understand the sales and marketing engine as it pertains to real estate investing. See, I was so focused on the operations. I was focused on the flipping. I was focused on the rehab materials and all that stuff. And the thing is, rehabs don't make money. Rehab is a cost. Rehab, the whole idea with rehabbing is you buy the property, you try to force up the value through improvements so that you can sell it to a different buyer who's more picky and willing to pay more, a retail buyer. Why not just buy the property for 20 cents less, 20% less? Why not create a bigger spread day one by getting an actual deal instead of just buying a random property because you found it or it was available on the MLS and maybe paying top dollar, and now you're working with razor thin margins trying to rehab this thing and sell it back out to the marketplace. So marketing and sales, super important. Hiring people, very important. If you can hire and you can get the right people on your team, which is like the number one thing for a true business owner, is getting the right team. You know, we actually hired a VP of operations. We hired one yesterday from here. Jumped on a call with my partner, hired a VP of ops, went through a whole curriculum of things, and now they're going to take over a lot of the operational stuff that needs to be dialed in on one of the companies. So this is what I learned. I paid money to go to mastermind events. I paid money to get one-on-one mentorship. I paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn how to just grow my business. And what I'm telling you for free is that you either have to pick that it's a business or you have to decide that you're an investor. And if you're an investor, that's cool. But the tendency is this. For most of your investing, you're going to always be tied down to the thing that you're trying to invest in. So people say this, well, I have to be in Canada to buy houses in Canada. I have to go see the house. I got to go touch the house. I got to go feel the house. I got to go do this. No, you don't. You're only doing that because you want a sense of control, because there's really no process. There's no accountability, meaning there's no real business. The reason why you need to touch the house and feel the house and see the house is because you're a control freak. Every small business owner is a control freak. This is how I know, because I'm a control freak. And I had to slowly, right? I had to slowly relinquish control to gain freedom. How do you relinquish control? Well, you got to trust somebody else. You can't trust people if you don't give them the right tools, resources, and most important, a process that works. If you put together, this is how Johnny buys houses. Johnny goes out, looks at the property, evaluates it with these tools. He joins Cashflow Tribe, cashflowtribe.com for training, cashflowtribe.com for resources, cashflowtribe.com for community. And Johnny builds a process that works. Johnny can then get Susie to come in and just work the system. If you're willing to build the McDonald's and you're willing to allow people to come in the business and test the process, the right people will be able to manage that process even better than you. See, there's people that are professional employees, and I love those people. We need those people in our lives. We need people that need a job. Not everybody should be an entrepreneur. Not everybody should be a business owner. It's a special calling. If you've decided to go down this path and you want to become one, get ready to kick your own ass. You're going to have to undergo some transformation. Managing people, becoming a true leader, lowering your ego, serving your team, creating process. None of that stuff is like center of attention, ego-driven stuff. Not for me, it's not. It's about the team. The more I serve my team, the more resources, tools, training, and support I can give them, the more they're going to grow. And that's the truth of the matter. So let me get back to my fundamentals here. So we're going to hire people, number one. Thank you, Arthur. Appreciate you, buddy. We're going to hire people, number one. We're going to build the process, number two, right? We're going to test that process. The only way to truly test your process is reduce the proximity to your core business. If you have to go there every day and touch things, it's because you have an ego control issue, but because you don't truly have a process in place, or you don't truly have the right team in place. So a real business, the owner is not sitting there doing all the stuff. The true business owner is looking at developing the team, and you can do that from anywhere. So if for you, you're thinking, I want to be virtual. Well, let me say this. A real business owner is also an independent thinker. In the real estate space right now, especially in Canada, where the market is so hot, people are copying people. I'm not seeing a lot of independent thinking. I'm seeing a lot of copycat imitation. So somebody does marketing one way, somebody copies them. Somebody buys and flips houses with one strategy, somebody else copies them. If you're going to be a business owner, it has nothing to do with copying. It has nothing to do with Me Too. It has, Me Too businesses that are, I buy houses, Me Too. It has nothing to do with you, like stealing somebody else's playbook and running it to the T. It's just not going to work. It's not going to work because times change. Businesses need to adapt. You need to lead the charge with value. So how do you lead? I think a business needs to solve real problems. If your marketing campaign is a copycat imitation with really no problem solving behind it, you're not in business. Sorry, you're not in business. And that's why you can't put a process, and that's why you can't scale it. Real business ownership solves problems no other business owner solves. That's why there's a million mom and pop places, restaurants, and whatever, that are still the original owners working that business. They haven't solved the bigger problem. The only problem they're solving is the direct one that the next neighbor business is also trying to solve. You need to revolutionize your problem solving. A number of years ago, I created an opportunity to help families get into home ownership. That was a unique problem and a unique solution. Nobody else was doing that. I didn't copy it. I didn't borrow it. I combined a whole bunch of different resources to solve a real need in our city. And you know what happened? The business did well, very well. But that's because it was unique. That's because it was hard. Real business is hard. If you're not willing to level yourself up, if you're not willing to deal with the crap, don't be in business, friends. Don't go down this path if you want to preserve your ego. Don't go down this path if you want to preserve your laziness. And don't go down this path if you want to tell the world how important and how significant you are. Nobody cares. What the world of business cares about is your ability to solve problems. It's your ability to get your hands dirty when other people aren't willing to. So I think there's a massive personal development that needs to happen inside of business owners. I've gone through this. Again, spend a lot of money on the development side because every time I do, I gain more awareness. So one of the most important things I've learned, I'll tell you right now, it's this. Most people, the reason they copy, they live in fear, and the reason they mimic is because they are tied to an existing environment. Listen, I got away from the snow, not because of the weather, but because of the climate. I'm not going to live in fear with some bullshit on my face all day and sit back while everybody else tells me how to do, where to do, and what I should do. If you don't like the climate, leave, move, adapt, shift. I'm not going to sit back while people tell me how to run the business, while people tell me how to run my life, while people tell me I should live in fear, while the news tries to manipulate my emotions to fulfill somebody else's agenda. So my point to you is real leaders lead. Real leaders make moves. Real leaders focus on abundance, prosperity, and growth. If you're sitting back and all you're doing is complaining all day about what the environment's not giving you, what the climate isn't giving you, what code black, red, purple, yellow, blue won't allow you to do, then you're not leading anything. You might not want to hear this from me because you feel like a victim, but if you feel like a victim, you're not a business owner. You can't afford to feel like a victim. See, business ownership is about getting up. It's not some cool thing you read on a t-shirt. Stand up, champ, keep going. You don't like use some moniker. I'm 10Xing my life. Forget all that crap. You're either going to stand up and fight or you're not. And if you're not, my friends, I'm just telling you the business world isn't for you. And I'm not trying to demoralize you. I'm trying to give you a reality check. There's too many businesses that struggle for a decade or 2 decades and never grow and buries the owner in debt, buries the owner in stress, and just simply buries the owner. And for what? For what? We need employees. We need people. We need managers. But if you're going to be a leader, then lead. Lead with positivity. If the whole world is negative and fearful, you got to shift. You can't afford it. You're not going to make more money by being fearful. Let me tell you that. You're not going to grow your company by being scared every day. You're not going to grow your revenue by playing small and playing defense. You're not going to grow your investments by parking your money in a bank because you're afraid to go out and do deals. There's a reason I crushed it in 2009 and 10 because most people didn't. Remember, they sat back and complained. The market sucks. The thing is going down. All this stuff. I get it. I understand. I understand the oppression, the fear, the scare. I understand, but I do not accept. See, this is where we got to make a clear line in the sand, friends. As a business owner, you can understand the issues. You can understand the health concerns. You can understand whatever's going on. I get it. But it's your choice to accept it. I decided I'm not accepting it. So for the last 35 days, I've been out of the country. I've been traveling. I've been working remotely, very remotely. I've been in places that most people don't go to or will never go to. And I'm staying safe and healthy and all this stuff that people worry about. But hey, I'm in the sunshine. The sunshine is a representation of where I want my mind to be. So back to my point. If you change your environment, you'll change your awareness, which means you can change your activity. If you're trying to change your activity and try to start a business, but you're in a very, very difficult climate where everybody's negative around you and people that are around you are living in fear and they're complaining all day about stuff, you're not going to start a successful business. Do you know how hard it is to be the anomaly? Do you know how hard it is to stand out when everybody else isn't? If you want to stand out, to get around outstanding people, listen, change your environment. You want to level up your mindset, you're not going to do it hanging out in a free group. You're not going to do it going to your local meetup group. You need to join a mastermind. You need to go into a room where the environment is different. You need to go into a room where people practice abundance like it's a workout regimen, where people practice abundance like it's a muscle. That's what's going to help you shape your mind. You can't just live in no man's land. If you're tethered to this reality of scarcity, the only way to get out of it is to find a new reality of abundance, tether to that sucker, and keep pulling until it becomes your reality. You can't just go, I'm going to detach from life, become a nomad, and have this wildly successful thing. You need allies. You need friends. You need people to help you. People help people. One of the things I regret was probably not asking for help sooner. One of the things I regret was not reaching out to get people who knew what I didn't know. I lived in ego land, right? I tried to do everything on my own because I was a young buck, ego driven. The crazy part about ego is this. Yes, I did hundreds of deals. I could have done thousands though. With the right mentor and the right resources and the right mindset, I could have done thousands. I didn't put myself in a successful environment fast enough. I try to create my own through my own ego, guys. And you'll be able to go and like fight through some stuff on your own, but you're going to do it through anger. You're going to do it through aggression, because you have got to create some defense mechanisms. You got to be like, no, forget you guys. I'm over here. But when you find a group of people that are already practicing abundance, you don't have to fight the world. You just walk into the open arms of abundance. Hey guys, I'm here. I'm here. Let's do this thing. I need your support. I need your moral support. I need your resources. I need your mindset support. See, then you just belong to a group who's winning instead of trying to create by yourself a winner. So these are some of the things I've learned, guys. I hope that this live has been valuable to you. I just wanted to come and share some of the truths that I've learned over the years. I mean, I spent a lot of money on this, hundreds of thousands, and I want to share it with you guys because I want you to win. Right now, with the climate being the way it is, and again, climate, I mean economic, political, everything else, the climate will probably try to hold you down. The climate is not your friend. Your friends that are negative aren't your friends. The people in your life that are just complaining and criticizing and gossiping all day, it's not going to help you grow. 5 years from now, you could be living the life that you want, or you could just be living the life that you got. Choice is yours. If you love your life, amazing. If you don't love your life, do something about it. You're in the greatest country in the world. If you're in Canada or the US, you got it made. All we need to do is go, I take control of my actions. I'm going to connect with the right people. I'm going to treat this like a business, not just an investor, if you're in real estate. And I'm going to push like hell to make it work. But don't play small. If you hold back, if you know the right move is to get plugged in with a group of people right now, if you know the right move is to get a mentor, and you don't, you're playing small. You're playing scared. Oh, I don't want to invest in it. I don't want to pay money to learn. Listen, until you commit real dollars, you're not committed. This works with everything in life. Until it costs you, until you spend real dollars, you're not going to get up early on Saturday to go to work. You've got to have a pain. The fear of loss is greater than the fear of gain. When you spend real money to join a mastermind, the fear of doing nothing and losing that money is greater than even what you're going to make. Quick story I heard the other day. I thought it was pretty cool. So a guy pulls up to a house at 3 a.m, calls his buddy inside and goes, hey man, I got that $50 I owe you. Can you come down and get it? The guy goes, nah, it's 3 a.m. Just come back tomorrow. I'll get it then. Few days later, his buddy rolls up again, 3 o'clock in the morning, and says, hey man, you're parked illegally. You're going to get a ticket for $50. The guy says, I'll be right down. See, the fear of loss, friends, psychologically is actually bigger than the fear of gain. Most people play not to lose instead of playing to win. So if you commit to something, you're going to play harder. But imagine for a second, y'all, that you shifted your life and played to win. Here's the hardest part. I feel you, Art. A lot of people are playing scared and afraid to live life. Here's the thing. What is the worst thing that's going to happen to you if you play big? One of my buddies owns thousands and thousands of units, multifamily. And he says, dude, if I had 3 units or 3,000 units and I go bankrupt, it's the same consequence. So why not play for big? Guys, I'm not saying you're going to go bankrupt, but what are you going to do? You're going to keep playing small for another 5 years, another 5 years, another 5 years? This is your choice, man. I killed 10 years working hard when I could have spent 10 years working smarter. That's all I'm saying to you. Working hard will get you to 100 deals, maybe, will not get you to 1,000. Working hard will get you 2 weeks vacation a year, but it won't get you the lifestyle of living wherever the hell you want. I've been gone for over a month. I'll come back when the snow's gone. I'll come back when the climate's different. I'll come back when I feel like it. Sometimes you just need a big brother to go, hey, let's go. If that's you, drop me a DM. I'm a real human being with real feelings and real guts. Send me a DM. Hey, man, I'm scared. I'm lost and whatever. Help me out. I'll direct you. If you need a free resource, cashflowtribe.com. Go join the community of people pushing every day. It's free. Absolutely free. If you need to come into a digital event and amp up your brain, I've got one coming up in January. Send me a DM. I'll get you the link. You want to join a mastermind and kick ass, and you want to be tied at the hip with me, and you want to do stuff and get on calls every week, and you want to push with a small, tight group of Navy SEAL investors, send me a DM. Either way, whatever you want, I'll set you up. I don't need to sell you stuff you don't need. But you got to do something, friends. You got to do something. Don't be sitting at home right now. I know it's cold outside. There's snow. The news is locking everybody down. You're living in fear. There's no deals anywhere. But if you treat this like a business, it'll change the game. I guarantee you. And if you treat this like a business, you'll stop thinking about tomorrow and thinking about where your business will be 5-10 years from now. Don't let a market cycle. Right now, we're in a cycle. Markets come up a lot in Canada, especially southwestern Ontario. It's come up a lot. Don't allow that cycle to keep you out of the market. Don't you dare wait for the perfect moment to get invested, because you won't. Stop trying to catch the top and catch the bottom. Nobody's going to be able to do that. The people who win are the people that stay vested, that stay in the game. You'll have ups and downs. You get kicked around a little bit. You get hit in the face, but then you'll keep going. And it's easier to keep going if you got other people playing the sport with you. So let me get some comments real quick. And then, by the way, cashflowtribe.com, that's the place for y'all to get started. I'm going to be doing some very, very cool stuff pretty soon. So if you guys, by the way, there's my email, ben@humble.ceo. If you want to shoot me an email real quick. I'll be doing some stuff very, very soon that I think you guys are going to love, dropping more free value. Get signed up. Just go to humble.ceo. Drop me your contact info. I'll keep you in the loop with what I got going on. We've got another book in the works. We've got some other stuff, a couple new shows. We've just launched a whole new podcast series, and your boy's dropping some massive stuff coming soon in the philanthropy space. So I'm looking to help some people out. I'm looking to, like, guys, above a certain amount of money, the rest of it just needs to go back to helping the world. What else are you going to do with it? More cars, more houses, more yachts, like, you can only have so many things. So, I'm thinking this beautiful spread. I'll give you guys a quick tour, right? We got a private mansion on the lake over here with everything you could possibly want. Beyond that, guys, give it back. Do something amazing. Help some people. And if you're looking at this and you're critical, maybe you're going, man, this freaking guy doesn't shut up. He's on the thing every day. He's on the Facebook every day. That's okay, friend. I ain't mad at you. I ain't mad at you. If you're mad at what you got and you're unhappy with where you're at, just keep moving. And if I can give you a little bit of inspiration or guidance, amazing. I don't need your money. If I can help you guys out at all, I'm here for you. So I want to encourage you. I think one of my big gifts of the Spirit, guys, something I'm really passionate about, is encouraging people. Encouraging them to live in spirit. Living in a life of abundance. And abundance is a mindset. Abundance is not a number in a bank account. Abundance is simply a mindset. You make a decision every day to wake up and go, I'm in abundance or I'm in scarcity. And sometimes, guys, I'm living in a shitty life, like in my mind. I'm having stupid thoughts. I'm having scarcity thoughts. I'm having all this stuff. And you know what happens every day? I got to make a conscious choice. Squash that crap. Get rid of it. Make a decision. Squash it out. Go do better. This is not about like some special gift. This is about a decision every day. David Goggins, right? If you guys read David Goggins, the book Can't Hurt Me, there's a special conditioning of the mind you can go through if you want to develop this. Bob says, fuck the fear. You're right, Bob. There's a special conditioning every day. You got that little inner shit brain that just talks a bunch of shit all day. Squash it. Don't accept it. Just because it came out of your brain doesn't mean it needs to come out of your mouth. Just because you thought it doesn't mean you have to do it. So if you want to really change your activity, you want to change your words, change those thoughts. You can shape the hell out of this brain if you decide. If you feed it with the right stuff, you focus on the right things, you kill the flesh every day. Kill the freaking flesh. If your body's telling you to eat 4,000 calories of crap, squash that. Tell your body, no, you're not getting that crap. Retrain your body. Don't be like me. Don't gain 40 pounds because you got no self-control. Retrain your body. Tell it no. You're not getting all those carbs and crap. I'm going to retrain this thing. Your brain, if your brain's spewing out garbage all day, retrain it. Hey, man, I'm not thinking on this stuff. I'm not going to go down this spiral staircase of bullshit thoughts. I'm not going to live in fear and scarcity. I'm not going to live in denial. I'm not going to live in doubt. And most of all, don't live in regrets. So many people beat themselves up all day, every day because of what they did in their past. Hey, man. Hey, girl. I don't care about your past. Don't bring your baggage into the 2021. Leave it alone. Leave it at the door. If you did some stupid stuff, or you're a part of some stupid things, or you underwent some challenges, problems, mistakes, leave it alone. I forgive you. Forgive yourself. Guys, I gotta forgive myself all the time. Truthfully, the Lord forgives me if I ask for forgiveness. So we need to forgive and move on. I'm not holding a grudge. I'm not holding resentment. I'm not holding anything against other people in my heart. I'm moving forward every day. And if you can develop the courage to forgive yourself, you develop the courage to change the way you think, hey, man, you can do some powerful, powerful things in this world for yourself, your family, and your community. So let me recap this whole spiel. Number one, create a real business. Don't just be a fake investor, because you're going to get squashed in this market. If you're buying deals top dollar, you're getting squashed. If you're struggling to find a deal because you're copying everybody, you're going to get squashed. Stop copying, level up yourself, get around somebody who knows, and ask better questions. All right? And if you got to pay to get into a mastermind, stop being a punk and commit. Number two, feed your mind different things. Some of you guys are doing the 75 hard. We had our whole mastermind group do it. That's amazing. If you guys have never done it, 75hard.com. It's Andy Frisella's, let's call it, mindset conditioning program. It's not that hard to do. All right, you can just go to this website, get it for free. Andy's giving this stuff away, 75hard.com. Go check it out. Okay. Those of you guys that are on it, congratulations. Keep going, man. I've done it a couple of times, and it's definitely worth the effort. And again, I picked it up because my mastermind group was doing it. They inspired me to level up because I saw my mentor doing this, and I'm like, okay, well, if my dude can do it, I can do it. It's that simple. If my dude can do it, I can do it. I can't be the punk who doesn't do it. That doesn't make sense for me. Okay, so let me go here. And if you guys need to get with the program, here's what you do. You'll jump over to humble.co, drop me an email over there. Say, hey man, I want to get on the program. I want to get the new book before it comes out. I want to get the new podcast content for free. I want to plug in with you. I want to win some cool merch. I just dropped the merch line, the clothing line. So that's there. There's a whole bunch of stuff coming out in terms of content, resources, trainings, tools, whatever. If your marriage needs help, if your finances need help, if you need to get your body in shape, if you need to get your mindset in shape, or if you need to practice your relationships, head over to humble.co, drop me an email there, say what's up, and let's connect. I'd love to help you guys. All right. Jimmy says, I'm opening the plane door and dropping out that baggage. Jimmy, I love that, man. I love that. I think that's amazing, brother. Congratulations, dude. I think you need to drop that luggage, get that crap out of there, and start focusing on other stuff, man. I love it. Arthur, Bob, I got a whole bunch of friends. My boy Neon's on here. What's up, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Okay. All right, y'all. Well, have a blessed day. I'm out of here. I'm going to go do some cool stuff, jump in the pool, hang with the wife, and get some supper ready and stuff. So be blessed. Have a great day. Stay humble. And I hope that you guys get value from this stream. If you do me a solid, share it out. If you're on Facebook, share this with your friends. Let them know what's going on. And we'll see you guys soon. We'll be rolling to the next spot here soon on the Humble Tour. I'll let you guys know. I'll be staying in some very, very cool spots. And I'll be dropping some new content on a regular basis for you guys. All right. Take care. See y'all. Peace.